And welcome everybody to the fourth episode of this Arsenal 1993-1994 Championship Manager Save. Lots to catch up on, lots to plan ahead for as we go forward with this 93-94 season. Currently top of the English Premier League, so let's see how things have panned out in this episode. Before we press on with the huge away game at Stamford Bridge playing Chelsea, we must talk a little bit about this Alexander Zavarov, my only signing so far on the save. And since he's come in, he has been absolutely brilliant, none more so with those two fantastic goals that got us a victory in the last episode. You know, he's come in, he's a real quality player, 32 years of age, and he's been an absolute superstar for us so far. So only right to mention at the start of this episode what a difference he's made since joining the club, and certainly a big reason why we are currently top of the Premier League in England. Big news ahead of the Chelsea game was the return to fitness of Arsenal captain Tony Adams. He had been out injured after getting a knock playing in international duty with England. So really, really important that we welcome Tony Adams back into the team for this huge clash at Stamford Bridge. And what a huge win it was at Stamford Bridge. Alexander Zavarov, again, the new Arsenal signing with a double. I think we took the lead on 15 minutes with a great goal from Zavarov. I think it was tipped off to him. It was laid off by Ian Wright at the edge of the box, and Zavarov curled the ball in from the edge of the box. Chelsea did come back into the game. Chelsea have had a fantastic start to the season. They started this game 5 points behind us, but with a game in hand. And Gavin Peacock, who's started the season really well, drawed them level on 21 minutes. It was then quite a tight game, as you'd expect. Away London derby at Stamford Bridge is never easy, but it was that quality of Zavarov again popping up on the 74th minute. A cross came into the box, knocked on by Alan Smith, and there was Zavarov at the back post to apply the touch that took the ball past the goalkeeper into the far corner of the net, and a massive 3 points for Arsenal at Stamford Bridge to keep them top of the Premier League and extend that gap over third place Chelsea. There was some transfer news knocking around as well, as Blackburn Rovers were showing interest in Arsenal duo, England goalkeeper David Seaman, and also a young midfielder Ray Parlour, who's been playing really, really well this season and got the English Young Player of the Month for October in the Premier League. Blackburn obviously at this point had lots of money. They were being funded by Jack Walker. I think in real life it was about 2 years away from them winning the Premier League title. And they've already really flexed their financial muscles in this game, bringing Georgia Hagi over, the Romanian legend, who's come and played in the Premier League for Blackburn. And they're showing heavy interest in Arsenal goalkeeper David Seaman and Ray Parlour as well. Obviously, we've got no intention of letting either player go. Ray Parlour's just recently signed a long-term contract, and we're also working at tying David Seaman down to a long-term deal as well. There was also rumours circulating around at this time of Arsenal's interest in Queen's Park Rangers striker Les Ferdinand, one of the top up-and-coming strikers at this time in the Premier League. And he's been linked with a move to Highbury, and it's something that we are looking into at this point in time, although nothing is close at the moment. Next up was the defence of our Coca-Cola Cup, and unfortunately we got knocked out in the third round away at Premier League team Sheffield United. We did have to make a lot of changes due to the players having to cope with the Premier League and European football this season. There were starts for Paul Linderson, Andy Linnigan, Adrian Clark, and unfortunately we didn't have enough in the team to beat Sheffield United. 2 first half goals saw us knocked out of the Cup 2-0. And then to follow that up, what a dramatic game in the Premier League as Manchester City visited Highbury. Ian Wright gave Arsenal the lead on the 21st minute, and all seemed to be going well. Arsenal were playing really well. Manchester City equalised on 33 minutes, and then just 3 minutes after that, a former Arsenal player, Niall Quinn, jumped highest in the box to head home and give Manchester City a 2-1 lead. Arsenal battled to try and get back in the game, and just as it looked like they were about to suffer their second defeat of the Premier League season, up popped Ray Parlour in the 90th minute to score a valuable equaliser. A really fantastic goal by Ray Parlour. Highbury erupted as the equaliser found the back of the net. Ray Parlour was celebrating with the fans. At the start of the game, a point may not have seemed like a good result, but I think when you're 2-1 down with less than a minute to go in the match, you'll always take the point at that juncture. And fantastic to see Ray Parlour, who's having such a great season, step up and score a fantastic equaliser to give us a valuable point in the Premier League title race. And it was then back to training at London Colney, getting ready for the arrival of Dynamo Minsk in the second round of the Cup Winners' Cup at Highbury. As you can see, the players training really hard, top of the Premier League in England, and now looking to take that form into Europe as we try and win the Cup Winners' Cup. And it was a 2-0 home victory at Highbury in the first leg. Ray Parlour again popping up on the goal scoring sheet. What a fantastic season he's having. Totally can see why Blackburn Rovers, who have money to spend, are chasing him. But he's someone that we're certainly looking at keeping at the club and building our team around, because he's having a fantastic season. And then in the second half, Paul Merson scoring the second goal with a fantastic free kick that really gives us a nice lead to take back out to Croatia. And let's have a look at that goal now.
Rose Wall to retreat full 10 yards.
I think it's going to be Merson, because it depends which side he takes. Yeah, he's going the other side. It'll be Merson, I think. Probably going on.
It's Merson.
And it's a goal!
A super free kick there by Magic Paul Merson, and a fantastic night under the floodlights at Highbury. A European night to remember, and we take that lead into the second leg in a few weeks' time. And next up was a huge game as we headed to White Hart Lane for the first North London derby of the season against Tottenham Hotspur. Always a tough game. Obviously, every fan in North London was really looking forward to this one. And what a fantastic North London derby day it was for the Arsenal side of North London. Kevin Campbell giving Arsenal the lead with a penalty on the 25th minute. Ian Wright then, in what has been a difficult season for him so far in terms of goals, popped up with the second. Sol Campbell got Tottenham back into it on the hour mark and made it a very nervous end to the game for Arsenal. But it was finished off in style and well deserved when Anders Limpar scored a third on the 76th minute. And let's take a look now at one of the goals from the North London derby. Ian Wright scoring at White Hart Lane, which he always enjoys. Cross came in, and there was Ian Wright with the header on the spot, celebrating in front of the Tottenham fans at White Hart Lane. What a goal, what a victory for the Gunners. And next up was a super frustrating result at home to Ipswich off the back of a fantastic North London derby win. Arsenal thought they had won the game when Paul Merson gave them an early lead, and they were very much in control of this contest. You can see here the amazing quality of Arsenal's opening goal. Paul Merson slotting the ball into the top corner absolutely beautifully. Arsenal looked way in control at this point to extend their lead at the top of the Premier League. But in the 87th minute, Ipswich catching Arsenal unaware when it looked like the game was sewn up. Chris Kawambia with an 87th minute equaliser, and points dropped for Arsenal in the Premier League title race again at Highbury. We seem to be having a few draws at Highbury in matches that you would expect us to win, and a really disappointing way to follow up from the North London derby win. Despite the points dropped at home to Ipswich, though, there was some fantastic news on the horizon for Arsenal fans, as Les Ferdinand was in the stands for their 1-1 draw with Ipswich, and the next day signed for Arsenal from Queen's Park Rangers for a British transfer record of £5 million at the time. A huge signing by Arsenal. Les Ferdinand, 26 years of age, 7 caps and 3 goals for England. As I said, signs for a British record at the time of £5 million. And this is a huge statement of intent from Arsenal in terms of their title challenge this season. They brought in a player who is one of the top up-and-coming strikers in the Premier League at the time, someone who can really push them on in the title race. And as you can see from his stats here, we've signed a really fantastic player in Les Ferdinand, who's going to be a fantastic long-term strike partner for Ian Wright, and really excited to see how this progresses over the season. A bit less high profile, but also on the same week of Les Ferdinand arriving, we also brought in 17-year-old defender Ben Thatcher from Millwall, a young up-and-coming prospect who joins for an initial fee of £100,000, which will have add-ons as he progresses and hopefully moves into the first team over the next few years. A signing for the future here in Ben Thatcher. And now it was all focus on a big match against Everton at Goodison Park. And obviously all the media attention was around Les Ferdinand's debut for Arsenal after his big money move from Queen's Park Rangers, to see what kind of result and how we could bounce back from that disappointing draw with Ipswich at Highbury last week. And another fantastic away win for Arsenal to keep them top of the Premier League. No debut goal for Les Ferdinand, but Paul Merson with a double, Lee Dixon popping up with a goal, and another late goal by Anders Limpar to seal a fantastic away win for Arsenal at Goodison Park. You can see Paul Merson here with a fantastic chip, putting Arsenal 1-0 up after 10 minutes. It was a tremendous performance by Paul Merson. Fantastic to see him at the forefront of an Arsenal victory with 2 fantastic goals. He's moved out to the right-hand side since Zavarov has come into the team. And really good to see Merson knuckling down after signing his new contract and playing a huge part today in a massive victory at Goodison Park. And that win leaves us 4 points ahead at the top of the Premier League, 4 points ahead of the current Premier League champions Manchester United. And as you can see, though, Blackburn, who have spent lots of money and are funded by Jack Walker, I have 2 games in hand on us, so they're very much in the title race as well. At the moment, it looks like a three-way battle between us, Manchester United and Blackburn, and it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out over the next few weeks. In the Cup Winners' Cup third round, we have drawn against Croatian side NK Vartex. We will be hosting them in the first game of the next episode as we look to progress in Europe as well. And it's going to be fantastic to see how the new signing of Les Ferdinand impacts their Premier League title race, and if we can maintain the pace at the top of what is a very competitive English Premier League this season. Really hope you've enjoyed episode 4 and look forward to seeing you for a very exciting episode 5 very soon. Take care.